Welcome to Revision Hub. Today we're going to look at the effect of institutionalization on Romanian orphans. Shrivata et al. 1998 did a study with 165 Romanian orphans who were adopted in Britain and were followed, and they wanted to test how good care could outweigh poor early experiences in institutions. At the ages of 4, 6, 11 and 15, cognitive, physical and emotional development was assessed. There was a control group of 50 British children who were adopted at the same time. It was found that half of the Romanian orphans brought up in the UK had delayed intellectual development and the majority were undernourished. At the age of 11, recovery was seen. If the infants were adopted before 6 months, they had a mean IQ of 102. If they were adopted between 6 months and 2 years, they had a mean IQ of 86. If they were adopted after 2 years, they had a mean IQ of 77. They were adopted after 6 months, they also had disinhibited attachment, which is when you seek attention, you're clingy, and you behave indiscriminately towards familiar and unfamiliar adults. However, this was not the case if children were adopted before 6 months. Another study was done by Zina et al. In 2003, and it was called the Bucharest Early Intervention Project. 95 children aged 12 to 31 months were used, and their attachment was observed and how they had spent most of their lives in institutional care. There was a control group of 50 children who had never lived in institutional care. Attachment types were identified using the strange situation, and the carers were asked if the children displayed signs of disinhibited attachment. In case you forgot what the strange situation was, just refer back to my previous videos. It was found that 74% of the control group was securely attached, 19% of the institutional group was securely attached, 65% of the institutional group had a disorganized attachment, 44% of children in institutional care, and 20% of the children in the control group had disinhibited attachments. So to summarize, disinhibited attachment is one of the effects of institutionalization. So this is when you're friendly and affectionate towards familiar and unfamiliar people. The cause of this is that you're adapting to having many caregivers during the sensitive period for attachment formation. Therefore, the children were not able to form secure attachments because they had several carers who they didn't see enough of. Another effect of institutionalization is retardation. Rutter found that the majority of the children displayed signs of retardation when they came to Britain. Nevertheless, this did not happen when children were adopted before 6 months. Evaluating both of these studies. A strength is that there's real-life application because studying Romanian orphans increased our knowledge on the effects of institutionalization, and so there was a change in the manner in which children in institutions were cared for, hence increasing mundane realism and so usefulness. Another strength is that there's fewer extraneous variables in comparison to other orphan studies because the children were out of institutional care and so may not be facing as much neglect or abuse, increasing internal validity. However, a weakness is that conditions in orphanages are extremely bad, and so the results from this study cannot be generalized because they don't really give us an understanding about the effects of institutional care or the child's experience of deprivation. Another weakness is that the amount of time the infant was adopted for was not a variable that was controlled for, and so the children adopted earlier would have obviously been more sociable, decreasing internal validity. In our next video, we'll look at an essay question, but before then, make sure you've made your notes on what we've covered so far. And don't forget to revise, rest, test, and repeat yourself. Follow us on Instagram. Thank you to Canva because I used their templates to create these slides. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and press the bell icon on our channel Revision Hub. Thank you so much.